What's up guys, Damian Keyes here, welcome back to the channel. So it is the last quarter of 2020 and what an absolute pig of a year it has been. Most musicians have lost their livelihood, they've lost their touring ability, they've lost gigs, they're probably not selling any merch, they're not sure when to release music or even how to release music anymore, and trying to do live streams on a day-to-day basis when you are in a 5-piece metal band is probably quite difficult. However, out of every disaster comes great opportunity. We saw the same thing in 2008 in the Great Recession. We saw the same thing in 2001. Whenever we have huge disasters, there are opportunities, and that is what today is about. So what should your next 5 moves be as a musician? Now, we don't know when this is going to end and when things will get back to normal or what normal will look like at that point. But one thing we do know is this is a supply and demand issue. Because right now, musicians have had the pause button pressed on their music and their music career. They are waiting right now. It's like that scene in A Phantom Menace where they're both trying to get at each other, but there's a force field in the way and they're just walking backwards and forwards, waiting for that force field to come down so they can attack each other. Musicians are waiting to release music. They're waiting to gig. They're waiting to tour, which means when that pause button does get pressed and all of a sudden it's back to normal, everyone is going to go. Everyone will be releasing. Everyone will want to gig. Everyone will want to be back on the treadmill. That is music and the music release strategy, which means at that point, there will be a huge supply issue. There will be a flood of music and gigs and musicians and artists and everybody trying to do the same thing at the same time, which means good is no longer good enough. And what you were allowed to get away with in 2019 no longer is relevant for 2021. You have to be better next year than you did 1 year ago because everyone is doing it again, but this time everyone is hungry and excited. So now, in order to be at the front, you have to be better, you have to be stronger, you have to be faster, you have to be more organized. And that is going to be the rule for when this starts back again. Which means now is the time for an MOT. Now is the time to look at your game, to look at the things that you are doing and to see if it's good enough. For example, is your playing good enough? Is your image strong enough? Are your release strategies strong enough? Is your content that you're putting out strong enough and consistent enough? Because if not, these are the issues we need to tackle now so that as soon as we get into that race, we are at the front of it. And number 2, when you're ready, you need to show the world that you're ready because venues, live agents, artists, bands, they are looking for musicians. They are looking for live music. But you have to remember the golden rule, which is people have a lot less imagination than you give them credit for. You can't just say, yeah, of course we're a band, of course we play live. No, that doesn't work. You have to show them not just that you play live, but you have to show them what it looks like, what it feels like, what the crowd looks like, so people can say, I can see what you do, I can see that it's good. So you can't say use your imagination, which means you have to show the world that you are ready and not just say, we'll come back when everybody else comes back. And now is the time to start networking. Now is the time to start putting these messages out and on social media saying, when this starts back, we are ready. We are born to go and do this, and this is our live show, and these are our crowds, and this is us live. Because that way, people looking around will see you and you will be at the front of the queue. And number 3, you need to start preparing for 2021 now. You have 3 months before 2021 starts and we all hope that we can go and do gigs. We all hope that we will be able to release music the same way as we used to. So you need to plan it right now, which means you need to have a calendar. A calendar is your best friend. When are you going to release? I'll probably release in January, maybe in February. No, I want the exact date in the diary. I want the exact date every single time you're going to release. And then I want you to start filling in that calendar. When are we going to do photo shoots? I want a date. When are we going to the studio? I want a date. When are we going to be in the rehearsal room? I want a date. I want everything in the calendar. I want everything in the diary. Because that's where you see where the spaces are. That's when you see what time you've got to fill. That's when you're not just using your imagination and saying, what shall we do today to push our career forward? No, we haven't got time. The calendar is our best friend, and 2021 needs to start being planned now. And number 4, there's a what if. What if this carries on into 2021? What happens if 2021 is the same as 2020? We need a contingency plan, because hopefully it won't be, and hopefully we'll be back to normal, but we don't know, so we need to have a contingency plan. And your contingency plan is going to be that you double down. Maybe it's YouTube, and you're going to say, do you know what? We're going to do twice as much content on YouTube. Maybe it's songwriting, and you say, do you know what? We're going to write twice as many or 3 times as many songs, so that we're putting things out on a kind of quicker basis in order to give value to our fan base and growth hack. What 2020 has shown us, if anything, is how to work on limited resources. We can't gig, we can't tour, we can't usually get into the studio, but that can't stop us. So therefore, we are working with limited resources and limited energy, but we have to keep going. So what is your contingency plan? And my advice is to double down on songwriting, double down on what content you can create. And if you're saying it's very difficult to create content in this environment, then you have to find the type of content that you can create and you can replicate time after time after time. And if that means that the next 15, 16 months is the same thing going round and round again, we have to be on board with that. There is a possibility that that will or may be our 2021. And number 5, now is the time to invest in yourself, because we need to bring as much stuff in-house. One thing we know is that there's probably going to be less opportunities coming up soon. There's also going to be less money coming in soon because of all the economic crises that are going on all around the world, which means you need to sacrifice your time to have certain skills being learned right now. Whether that is you're getting good at photography, you're getting good at videography so you can do video production and editing, whether it's more songwriting, whether it's learning social media, whether it's learning the music industry in the best way possible so that you can growth hack, build your audience, all of these things. Now is the time. Now is the time to find that extra bit of time to invest in yourself so that you are further ahead than everybody else when this thing starts back again. We don't know what's going to happen next, but that doesn't mean we can't plan for it, as weird as that sounds. We can plan for contingencies. We can plan to be releasing from our bedrooms if that is what needs to happen over the next 15 months, because the internet is an incredibly amazing place. And yes, it's not quite the same, and you don't have the opportunities, and you can't get out there and rehearse and go in the studio and gig and tour, but that can't stop us from driving ahead. The other thing we know is this is a supply and demand issue, and very, very soon there will be a lot of supply, which means you need to get your house in order. You need to make sure that you have plenty of music of good quality, that your content is ready to go, and you are making sure that everything around you is at the highest level, because good is now not good enough. A lot of the stuff that we did in 2019 will not fly in 2021 because of the amount of people that will be releasing music and touring and gigging at the same time. Now's the time to get your house in order. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you can do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. More importantly, come and be a part of this community. And if you are struggling, if you are worried about what to prioritize, or you feeling like the music isn't going out to the people that you want it to get out to, and you're not growing fast enough, then why not hit the link on DK Music Business Academy and come and work with me? Because this is stuff that we're doing every single day, and I'm absolutely loving what we're achieving. So go and check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.